Are you ready to get philosophical?
I fucking love this shit.
Beautiful listeners, you are worth all the stars in the sky
Hell yeah.
and at least 2 perfectly cooked grilled cheeses.
Hell yeah. Does a bear shit in the woods?
Sometimes. He's been known to shit in a liquor tent. Yeah, pick up a book, losers.
Pick up a book, losers.
Welcome to the Based Banter Podcast.
Welcome to the Based Banter Podcast. My name is Joey, and I will be your host today. And with me, as always, is my co-host and best friend, Jerry. Jerry, tell him a little bit about yourself.
What's up for our first-time listeners? I am a musician, podcaster, of course, and an amateur producer.
Yes, sir, and I am a streamer on Twitch, former professional wrestler, and an actor. Jerry, before we get into this topic I have planned for you today, go ahead and tell me a little bit about what you've been into.
Oh, buddy, man, I've been hitting town recently. There was a sort of a Halloween vendor downtown market, I should say, where they had a bunch of vendors pull up. They set up tents and sold their wares, and everybody downtown was wearing costumes. There was a group that did a dance number or two, and man, and then later that night I ended up catching a concert and have a new favorite band.
Hell yeah, that sounds like a good time. Did you get yourself a Richard Nixon mask?
I did not. There was nobody selling.
Richard Nixon mask.
That's a dated reference. How many of our listeners know who Richard Nixon is?
I mean, I'd hope our schooling education hasn't failed them that much.
I mean, in all honesty, that's one of the I wouldn't say more, but an important historical figure. But that's beside the point. What about you, buddy? How you been? What you been getting into?
I've been doing a lot of my hobbies. Been streaming a lot. I actually just did an audition for a Netflix role. It's called. And I'm waiting for a call back right now, so it could be any day. They actually contacted me today for some updated photography, and so we're just playing the waiting game right now.
Oh shit, that sounds promising.
Yes, sir. I mean, I was just in a Hulu movie back in June, so this agency that I'm working with, man, they're really, really, really top tier and high end, so I'm super excited about this. I cannot wait.
All right, buddy, so I gotta know, since you're so good at acting, are you acting to be my friend?
Oh, life is an act. It's all a gimmick, son.
It's all a game.
No, man. There's parts of your life you want to act in, and then there's parts of your life you've got to be true. You got to be real. I only have, I could probably count all of my friends on my toes, So
That's interesting that you would choose toes.
But anyways, before we get too far off into the stratosphere, I do have a topic for you today.
Yeah, what you been thinking about?
So with the current movies that have blown away the box office recently, there's 2 particular movies that are out. One of them is the Demon Slayer Infinite Castle, and the other one is the Chainsaw Man movie Res Arc. So that got me thinking, I kind of want to talk a little bit about the importance of anime and its culture references and how it impacts the general populace.
I think it's interesting, too, how much we've seen an emergence and an acceptance into American culture. And for those who didn't know, we are American.
Absolutely, If you didn't know, sorry if you're just now catching on.
Yeah, but it has now become culturally significant because it's become so much more prevalent. Have you noticed that in, I guess, your interactions with people?
Yes, I mean, growing up, I used to watch Adult Swim. I would catch Inuyasha, Cowboy Bebop, Dragon Ball. And then I would try to talk about these with friends at school, and people would look at me like I was a fucking space alien, like a nerd.
Dude, big ass shout out to Adult Swim and Toonami for playing the realest fucking shit, because I may not have followed anime so much, but it was a crucial part of my development because I got to watch really cool animes like the ones you had mentioned too, and then I'd be lucky enough to catch like Rurouni
One of those.
Kenshin. The dude, he had the reverse blade sword. that was just really cool for like childhood me, and that was one of my favorite shows.
Right. I think we all had that experience where you fall asleep with the TV on and you wake up to the Inuyasha fucking end credits song. You're all blurry eyed and then like hungover from sleep, and you just hear the I don't know how it goes, but something like that.
Right. Yeah, Inuyasha is definitely one of those that are big on my list. What the hell is happening? Do you hear
We
that?
just had an invasion. A hacker just broke through the barricade of our firewalls and is now trying to implicate their love for anime.
What does that mean for the...
But anyways,
right.
yeah, moving right along from that, whatever the fuck that was, I kind of have a couple things I wanted to run by you here, and a little bit of some topics of discussion revolving around anime and kind of like its importance with pop culture. So, for starters, what is? I know you kind of gave us a little bit of a rundown of your history with anime, but do you watch anime? Like, is it something that you partake in?
I believe if I was in a different headspace in my life that I would partake a little bit more. But even now with everything I have going on, it's hard to find time to just sit down and watch something and dedicate my attention and focus. I mean, I do watch a show now that I'm excited for, but it's only that one show that is in that kind of like space in my head where it's like, well, I'll look forward. I would have already binged all the episodes if I could have, but it's one of those things where it's released every week. It's a new episode.
All right, what's the title? Don't just string us along. Now tell us what it is.
Well, since you asked, I'm not going to tell you.
Tune in next time to find out what the fuck he's talking about.
You can find out on any of our social medias where I will bring it up at least a half a time.
Not even finish the full fucking social.
Nah. This show is called Chad Powers. It's about this guy. He had a promising career in football, and then...
Are we talking soccer or actually football?
We are Americans, buddy.
Okay.
I appreciate
I have to check.
I appreciate your clarification for our listeners that could be abroad, that are abroad at any point in time.
The English hate you for calling football like football, and especially since they play it with their hands.
That's weird.
Right. It's bloody American way, right?
But anyways, he's this disgraced football player because he's kind of like a bad guy. So already it's kind of like hinting that there's going to be an arc for him to be like a better person overall. And so then after this bad event happens, he just kind of like falls down this rabbit hole doing worse and worse stuff. And then he's like washed up, and it's just a good show. I won't spoil too much because I feel like I'm going to get too much into spoiler territory.
Right.
But
Now
I'm
that's
really
an anime
excited.
or is it like a real TV show?
No, this is live action, buddy.
Oh, what the fuck are you talking about? Okay, all right.
All right, host.
Okay,
Reel
all
it
right.
back.
Okay, so first of all,
Second
you're talking
of all,
to a true fucking weeb over here. All I watch is anime. I don't watch any real people bullshit. Like, you could take that shit and you can have it.
But you're an actor, though.
That's different. That's totally not what I'm into as
How
far
do
as
you-
the content I consume. I don't even watch my own shit. To be fair, though,
How do you know when to flush? That's an awful fucking joke. I'll see my way out.
I don't know. I laughed. But anyways, what the fuck? I don't
What
even.
the
You
fuck?
fucked me up with that. But anyways, I'm watching shit like Rising of the Shield Hero. You know, I watch Mushoku Tensei. I watch fucking all of them, and you know, it's got me thinking. You were talking a little bit about the character development with that football player. That's kind of how all
Balance.
anime
It's
is.
happy.
You know, there's all these life lessons that are driven home through like animation, and on the surface, you know, it looks like a cartoon. Like it's like an animation, and people write it off because it's not real people. But underneath the surface, there's all these like real deep implications, life lessons, and a lot of dark, heavy content.
I think in one of our previous conversations, not recorded, you had mentioned about how animes will touch on more sensitive topics, where they will really go in to subjects and really get into it.
Right. Because, like, there's a lot of mediums to absorb in our culture, right? And I think that it's important for people to watch anime because this is just my wholehearted belief, and this is all a matter of interpretation based off of the viewer. But I personally believe if you watch anime, you'll be a better person. It will actually help you with your own character development because you're going to watch these people go through these serious events like losing everything. Their family dies, they're broke, they're poor, they're homeless, and they have to build themselves up, and eventually by the end of it, they're overpowered, they have everything, and they're happy. And it speaks to me in a sense that, you should just never give up, right? Never give up.
Why do you think anime gets the pass to go on about like really difficult subject matter and horrifying events, really?
I think because it's animated, since it's like South Park, for instance, they get a pass to talk about a lot of subject matter that if you try to do it in a real sense, it probably would never reach airtime, right? But since it's animation, it's able to be viewed as not as a serious thing. So they kind of can get away with a lot more. Like a lot of content is like SA, for instance, or like death, murder, and like fucking being robbed, shit like that, where it's like you're beaten down so low morally and physically, and that these characters, they pull themselves out of these situations and then they become better because they've gone through these situations.
So what I'm hearing is there's definitely a disconnect from what people can see on the screen as like, well, these are just cartoon characters, this stuff can never happen in real life. But then you're also saying, too, a lot of people connect with anime. So there's a disconnect on some side where it's like, well, this could never happen. And then there's another side that's hopeful, or it's like, I want this to happen. This is me. I feel so empowered. Like,
right. And I mean, I'd be ignorant to state that people like to watch snuff stuff, right? Like in general, people like to watch heavy topic subject matter, like Law and Order SVU, for instance. That might be too much for some people, but for that person who it's too much for, there's an anime that they could watch where, since it's done in an animation form, they can absorb that information a little bit easier, right?
So the people that experience the sort of subject matter that happens to people, I don't want to like come out and explicitly say it because it may be triggering for some people, but the people that experience being a victim in the like special victims unit, has there been an anime that has helped heal any like traumatic stuff in your life, or has like helped you process things?
Oh, absolutely. Redo of Healer. No, that's a joke for anyone who is familiar with anime. Redo of Healer is so bad. It's literally the worst. It's
completely lost on me.
Google it, buddy. This is an inside joke for the weebs out there. No,
if you know, you know.
If you know, you know. But no, for me personally, if there was an anime that I like resonated with as far as like something that helped me feel better about, how my life is, that's a really tough one considering I don't have superpowers or magical abilities, and I watch mostly isekais, where the person gets killed and reincarnated into another world.
Spoiler alert.
But no, that's a genre. What? Anyway.
Well, excuse me.
No, but like, if I did have to pick one, it would probably be Dragon Ball, because Goku he never stops working hard, right? He's the hardest motherfucking worker ever in all of anime. And to me, I feel like, that just goes to show no matter how hard you work, eventually you'll fucking reap some benefits.
That sounds incredibly inspiring. And buddy, you know what? I think I want to be a little bit more like Goku.
Well, just to give you an idea how much of a weeb I am, I have a fucking Dragon Ball tattoo. I have Shinron literally on my arm. So, like, that's how deep my love for anime goes.
Okay, so explain who Shinron is for anyone who's never seen Dragon Ball.
Shinron is the dragon that once you collect all the Dragon Balls, you can make a wish.
His balls you're getting. You're collecting his balls, right?
You gotta cradle his balls, and then you gotta make a wish. You get 3 powerful wishes. But But yeah, I've got these balls on my arm with this dragon and his balls. And,
He's dragging them. Okay.
And I actually did make 3 wishes. I was like, look, I collected the Dragon Balls. I'm going to make 3 wishes. Fuck it, right? I mean, I made the sacrifice. Fuck it. I've got them now. So, but that just goes to show you, my deep, deep love for this kind of like medium and this kind of form of entertainment, which is why I wanted to talk about it today.
Yes, sir. So I'm curious, what was the point in your life to where you realized that you liked anime so much that you'd be willing to take on more and more of it,
Right. So I think there was a point where I had started to stop. I didn't watch anime for years, right? Like I grew up watching it and then I just stopped watching it. And I think I went through a deep traumatic incident where I injured myself and I couldn't wrestle professionally anymore. Like I tore my ACL and I tore my meniscus. And I was sitting at home. I lost my job. I lost my girlfriend. I lost my home. And
you lost your dog.
I lost my dog.
You lost.
It's the beginning of a country song, isn't it?
It's starting to sound like it.
But no, so I had all this extra time on my hand, and I started watching One Piece. And that's like 1,000 episodes plus, and there's a lot of content there. And I just started watching other animes. I started watching Claymore. I started watching Akame ga Kill. I started watching Berserk. All these animes of these characters that go through way fucking worse than what I went through, and it kind of helped me just separated me from my own reality for a moment, and it helped me deal with the bullshit.
It kind of put it all in perspective for you.
Well, in a sense, yeah. I mean, like, I think of it like how professional wrestling is. It's just a break from reality, right? It's like,
Are you calling wrestling fake? It's real to me.
Well, let me tell you something, brother. There ain't nothing fake about it, son. This whole thing, this whole beautiful, beautiful thing, brother. It's art. It's art, yeah.
There's nothing I wouldn't give in the world, to be able to cut a Macho Man Randy Savage promo.
Oh, yeah. Let me tell you how the cream rises to the top. Yeah.
Shout out to Dan Soder, who is an amazing comedian and does a freaking amazing Macho Man impression. If you have not seen any of his impressions, he's phenomenal.
He's
amazing.
got the best. I mean, I somehow blended Hulk Hogan and Macho in the same impersonation. So,
which is kind of like the culmination of that era. So,
but yeah, so basically their whole thing is just kind of like to give you a break from reality. On the weekends you show up to those events and you just take a step out. You don't have to worry about bills. You don't have to worry about work, taxes. You don't have to worry about none of that shit. And that's how anime is for me.
Okay, so it gives you a little bit of escapism.
Yes, absolutely. And I think that, with the way pop culture is now, we're seeing a rise in the consumption of anime. Like I mentioned earlier with those movies, I mean, you have Demon Slayer. It's grossed over $600 million worldwide. It's the highest grossing anime film of all time. And I think it led the box office there for a while.
See, I think in my mind, in my own perception, in my own anecdotal sort of experiences, people that watch anime are more introverted and secluded from society.
What the fuck are you trying to say?
I'm saying
you're not wrong.
To watch 1,000+ episodes of One Piece, what the fuck are you gonna do? You're gonna go out on the town and watch One Piece at a bar and socialize at the same time?
Actually, buddy, in our town, there's several anime-themed bars, mind you, and an anime burger joint. And you can literally go in and have ramen and watch fucking Naruto.
Did this just become an advertisement?
I didn't say any names. We're not talking about you, Fin2. Pay us now.
Pay us now.
But
it's good marketing.
But that just goes to show you how popular this shit is right now. There's not a fucking Law and Order bar.
But what does that say about these times to where something that is way more introverted and doesn't necessarily require you to go to other people to talk about it and share about it, because people are content with solo enjoying anime and be like, holy shit, like I really relate to this? Or do you think anime has been stigmatized to where people can't bring it up to other people? It's like, well, this is I mean, kind of like reading some books.
Well, I think now, so kind of what it feels like you're alluding at it, with the introverted like tendencies is, yeah, anime did breed a lot of introverted people, and that's why they got scrutinized for liking it. But as with anything in pop culture, as soon as it becomes popular and mainstream, it becomes cool. So now you can talk about it out in public and not feel like you're going to get judged and ridiculed. You can go to a bar dressed up as a fucking ninja and no one's going to say anything. They're going to be like, dude, you look like a Naruto character. That's cool as fuck. And, you know, if you're a furry, you can just be a beast person from fucking any isekai anime out there, dressing up like an elf. You know, like, these are the kinds of weird, awkward people who can now express themselves, especially like at conventions, dude. Anime con conventions, they bring out the weirdest motherfucking people, and I am here for it.
It seems like a backhanded compliment at the same time, you know?
Well, what it is it's giving these weirdo motherfuckers a space to connect.
There again, you did it.
I'm
right
one
there.
of them, dude.
Right
listen,
there.
Listen, it's like I get a pass because I fit in with this crowd. I am an introverted person. I will not leave my house. I have a Halloween party I'm going to go to tomorrow.
Okay, of all the hours, how many hours do you think you've put into watching anime?
Thousands.
Okay, so that gives you some sort of badge of honor to...
Thousands. If I were to go off and name every anime that I've ever seen, we would finish this pod and I would still be naming shit. Still. That's how much I have seen. And it's just to a point now where, like, I could hold my own in a conversation with just about anybody. I've watched sub, I've watched dub, I've practiced learning Japanese because I wanted to watch sub without reading subtitles. I even have a trip planned to go to Tokyo, Japan, because I want to see some of the locations that are featured in anime. Because the anime art is so goddamn good that they depict real locations in their animes of actual anime, of actual locations in Japan, and then people will do side by sides. They'll be like, this is Shinjuku, Japan in the anime, and this is Shinjuku in real life. And you're like, dude, the anime looks fucking better. What the fuck?
And I think that's really cool. And I love whenever certain studios have their own particular kind of art style, so much so that it's kind of coined. I'm going to bring up probably one of the more popular studios that a lot of people would be familiar with, and that's Studio Ghibli.
Oh yeah, dude. Studio Ghibli is fire, dude. Like, their artwork, and I'm an artist too, so like that's another reason why I love this shit.
It's so distinct, it's so signature, and then you couple that with the stories that they tell. It's just a wonderful time, dude. I really enjoy some Studio
like
Ghibli
Ponyo
films.
And the fucking water and like the whole fucking like the trash in the water and shit. Like, that's a problem. They're talking about subject matter and content in that medium that's relevant and it needs to be talked about.
Yeah, buddy. And that's where I'm at. I really like the inspiration I feel from watching stuff like that. I'm a little bit more motivated by the world, where some people may be more motivated by individual struggles and strife that they need to overcome.
Right, but then, you know, I'll play devil's advocate. I'll step out of my own bias here for a moment, and I'll say I totally get it. I get it to the non-viewer, to the person who wants to call them cartoons and has never partaken in an anime. But what I got to say to those people is, fuck you, big massive fuck you. This is an excellent form of media, and if you just gave it a chance, stopped fucking dealing with your own insecurities and start actually, like, there's billions of people who are into this shit. You can't gatekeep what you think is the fucking prime time entertainment and state that all anime is for kids. Bullshit. Watch fucking Berserk. Tell me you would show that to a 12-year-old.
So what is your favorite cartoon?
Probably Courage the Cowardly Dog.
That's a weird anime. All right.
That's not an anime. Anime is fucking a medium made in Japan. Cartoons are made in America.
How
That's
do you know
the
that?
fucking difference.
I like plenty of cartoons made in Canada and France.
What? Name one fucking Canadian cartoon. I'll wait.
Ed, and Eddie. You just fucking said it. You just said it. You gave me the answer key.
I didn't know it was Canadian. The more you know.
Well, the dude that wrote it, Danny Antonucci. He's Canadian.
What
so
a
that
fucking
counts.
name. Anyways, how did you? That's just some weird ass shit to pull out of your noggin, by the way. But yeah, I
That
mean,
gives you a little bit of glimpse into what I really like. I
but
really like
there's a
Ed, Ed, Eddie.
huge fucking difference. I mean, Ed, Ed and Eddie is just, it's just fucking.
Why can't Ed, Ed and Eddie be an anime?
Because
Why
it's
can't
not
King of
made
the
in
Hill be an
Japan.
anime?
It's not made in Japan. Japan doesn't have cartoons, and America doesn't have anime. There's not American anime, or there probably is. I mean, you could
Are
fact
you
check me, but
shitting on our artists? You think we couldn't hold up to that standard?
it's like
You
saying,
heard it here first, everybody.
It's like saying rock and roll is rap music, right? Like they're just two totally different forms of media, but they're both still music. Does that make sense?
Genre?
Yeah, two different forms of genres, but they're both still music. Animation and anime is the same as animation, like cartoons, but they're just the biggest difference is the art style and the location. Like for instance, Korean anime or Chinese anime, I think they still call it anime. But if you were to get like a manga, like with the actual comic book from like anime in Japan, it's called manga. But if you got manga from Korea, it's called manhwa. And if you bought a comic book in America, it's called comic. But they're the same fucking thing. They have panels. They're artistic descriptions of a story going on.
Hey, here we call them graphic novels.
Speaking of graphic novels, dude, I just started a light novel recently that I'm so fucking hyped on. Oh my God. And I hope it gets an anime rendition. Dude, have you ever heard of Dungeon Crawler Carl?
You know what, buddy? I was on that train. I think I introduced you to Dungeon Crawler Carl.
Yeah, I might have wrote it off at the time because I was invested in solo leveling. But dude, holy shit. If you're a listener at home right now and you have Audible and you like light novels and lit RPGs, do yourself a service and fucking get Dungeon Crawler Carl. Holy shit.
So a little bit of background here. I had heard about Dungeon Crawler Carl from one of my favorite podcasts, Distractable. One of the hosts,
Shout out Distractable.
Shout out Distractable. And one of the hosts was a couple different episodes brought up that he was reading it and really enjoying it. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll check it out. I was a little reluctant, and then I read through the first couple chapters. I'm like, holy shit, it's really cool how it's adjacent to like D&D and the different just interesting elements it brings to it. And then I was just like, Joey, you got to read this. This is really good. And then I kind of like stagnated on my reading because that's just what happens in life. Sometimes you stop reading stuff, but it ignited a flame in you is what you're saying.
Buddy, all right, so for those who want like a little synopsis without giving you any spoilers, I'll go ahead and give you like a little breakdown of what Dungeon Crawler Carl is. Basically, there's this alien government that goes from planet to planet, and
Much like our government.
and they mine the entire planet for resources and all of the living organisms. You're not wrong. Honestly, even in the anime, they do connect correlations with the syndicate is what they're called. But anyways, the alien government mines the planet of all its resources, and any living organism left alive gets entered into this intergalactic game show, and the game show is set in a dungeon, and these players, they have to fight their way through several floors of this dungeon, and there's the main character Carl, who is with his cat, and they have to
the eponymous Carl, the Dungeon Crawler Carl. Okay,
yeah, and he's in his underwear and Crocs of all fucking things.
that's a spoiler.
Nah, it's on the cover of the book, buddy. That's not a spoiler, and it's in the first chapter. Anyways.
Yeah, pick up a book, losers.
Pick up a book, losers. But anyways, they go through like this fantasy sci-fi fucking game show, and the humor is crude. It's adult-oriented. Don't let your kids read it. There's meth-dealing llamas. Like, literally, you're going to be in for a fucking treat. I've been cracking my ass off at work, and people probably think I'm a crazy person.
Be sitting there listening to an audiobook Facebook laughing to yourself, and they're just like, this guy, he's fucking
What
lost
the
it.
hell's wrong with him? Why is he laughing at work? This place sucks. But I really fucking hope they get an anime. God, I hope so hard that they get an anime, because if they do and they do it justice, to see all of the sites that are described in that would be fucking amazing. It will take the world by storm.
So there is a webtoon, which I found out is just pictures, and I thought it was an animation. And I got really excited thinking that there was going to be some sort of animation for Dungeon Crawler Carl. Then I get on this website for this webtoon. Come to find out, webtoons are not what I thought they was.
But I mean, you can still appreciate a webtoon because it does give you some visual aid to an otherwise imaginative description, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Because I don't know if this happens to other readers, but sometimes you kind of get a little bit skewed on what this person's description was. Because usually a character will get introduced, they give a description, and then there's little context clues and stuff afterwards, but you kind of forget. And Dungeon Crawler, and I mean, Carl, as he is called, he's like a 6'5" guy, and I kind of forget about that sometimes.
Yeah, he's like this big grunty, like burly dude, and he's got to keep his fucking fluffy princess cat alive.
It's amazing. So I would recommend anyone out there to, if you like D&D, if you like the sort of synopsis we've given, like shout out, like
For
wholeheartedly,
sure.
go check it out.
For sure. And you see how hyped I got for that, right? That's just an example of how hyped people get about this form of media. To see like an anime, and most anime, they start out as a light novel or a manga.
Or a
manhwa,
cartoon.
or a fucking cartoon. Listen, we're not going back down that fucking road.
Have you never seen the the King of the Hill?
The second
anime?
season of King of the Hill is fucking gas, first of all. I don't know if you've seen it or not, but dude, they killed it. Dude, I fucking love the second season.
I thought you were about to give us a spoiler. They killed.
We're not going to give no spoilers away. All right, if you like King of the Hill, fucking do yourself a service and watch it, buddy. I'm telling you, it's so good.
That's primetime American anime.
It is, dude. Honestly, it really fucking is. That's primetime American anime.
Bam. You
And
heard it
straight
here
up.
first.
It's straight up. And dude, Matt Groening, I think that's the guy, also did The Simpsons, I'm pretty sure.
No, it's Mike Judge.
Mike Judge. Wait, hold on. Didn't Mike Judge do The Simpsons?
That's Matt Groening.
Fuck, Mike Groening. Who the... Well, you know what? This is
I got you, buddy.
This is why we have you here.
I got you. Look, I know a little bit more about cartoons, apparently.
Apparently, dude, I'm not a cartoon guy, but I fucking still love that shit. And dude, I'm telling you, any kind of form of like animation to me though, it's digestible, it's easy to watch, easy on the eyes, it's a disconnect from reality. It helps me feel good about my current situation. It's good for my mental health. I think that the implications in the subject matter are very important. And I think that, you know, if more people were to give it a chance and indulge in some of this content, dude, I think the world would be a better place. I mean, that's kind of a stretch, but it really is something that more people need to partake in. Do the things you love. Enjoy doing this shit, and then you might find yourself fucking becoming a little bit of a better person.
Is it just what elements about it is that you believe would be so helpful?
I think finding a character that you can relate to, because there's so much, right? I watched this one called Positive Angular, and it's about a guy who is he gets diagnosed with cancer, and he decides that since he's told he's not going to live for 6 more months, he maxes out all of his credit cards. He lets his rent get behind. He's about to get evicted out of his house, and he's like, well, I'm going to die, so it doesn't fucking matter. And he's moping around. He's depressed, and he ends up running into this group of people who are fishing, and they're like really, really love fishing, and he ends up fishing with them for the night. He ends up finding out that he really loves fishing, and his whole perspective on life changes because now he's finding something that he enjoys doing. He doesn't know nothing about fishing, and now all of a sudden
now it makes sense. Angling, that's what
Positive Angler, dude. And he loves fucking fishing, and it changes his life. So now he wants to live. He wants to correct the wrongs that he's done. And I think there's people out there who that can resonate with. Somebody might be going through a cancer situation and they might be trying to give up. If they were to stumble across an anime like this, finds this guy and this character who's just like them, who's given up, and this guy finds his passion and it changes the way he views life. I think that is a very important thing, and it's out there. And if people just gave it a chance and looked for it, it really could help a lot of people.
So you're saying that it can be super influential and inspire people to do stuff that they wouldn't normally do and maybe become a better person?
Absolutely. And of course, as with all things, you're going to have the negative side of it, right? Like Redo of Healer, which is basically a revenge arc, right? It's this guy who gets killed and he comes back to life and he ends up going to all the people who fucking wronged him and he ends up doing some heinous things to these people. And sure, it feels good watching him get revenge, but dude, you should not live your life that way at all. So, like, yeah, you know, not all of it's going to be great for your soul, right? You know, you shouldn't eat junk food every single day, but sometimes junk food feels good.
Sometimes junk food does feel good. That's usually in that first bit whenever you're eating it.
But my main takeaway here that I want people who are listening is to... If you're not a follower of anime and you've either hate it or you've never seen it, to just give it a chance. Find one that you like. Ask your friends who do like anime. Someone like me who's seen a lot, I can point you in the right direction. Find someone who you trust. They can tell you to watch something like, dude, Cyberpunk Edgerunners. That's
something I've seen. That's something I saw and loved.
Dude, the subject matter in that about addiction, like, yeah, on the surface it's sci-fi in the future, but in reality it's all about addiction and what it does to you. And spoiler alert, it fucks the main character up. But there's a takeaway from that, and the takeaway is that don't let addiction run your life because it will be your end.
Edgerunners is one of those animes that will fuck up your feelings, and just you bringing this up, right? I watched this maybe 3 or 4 years ago whenever it came out, and right now just mentioning it kind of fucks with my feelings.
Dude.
Fucking Lucy. Oh,
yeah. Lucy Splat. Anyways,
not
Splat, not Lucy, but the fucking other girl, Splat. You know the one. Anyways,
it was the romantic story.
Oh, the moon, yeah,
the moon, and that's all we should say about that, because
we won't say anything
deeper
else. But it's been out for years at this point. But
yeah, you know what?
The point is, you saw how you just got, like, you're someone who's not even like a huge follower and watcher of anime, but it brought back this feeling, this inert passion that you've got and you received from this content, from this subject matter, and
right, a big emotional reaction, just to even like you didn't even have to go into like anything that happened, or just the mention of the name Edgerunners just took me right back to all the amazing stuff that it made me feel. And I think that's really cool for a medium. It is so cool for a medium. And I think I'm starting to see more of what you're saying about if people could embrace this medium and feel these deeper feelings.
Come on, cross over to the dark side. Join us.
If they could feel these deeper feelings and find meaning in their struggles, then I think that, I can see it. That could make better people, yeah?
Absolutely, dude. Abso-fucking-lutely. I mean, that's the whole fucking point of all of this. You know, I feel like I said earlier, find one that you can resonate with, and if it's Cyberpunk Edgerunners, whatever it is, dude, if it connects with you, you will feel something. And that's the kind of content that you're not gonna get from just your everyday run-of-the-mill TV show. You just won't. I've never felt that way about any other form of media than I have about anime. Maybe that's just because I haven't seen enough. Like, sure, I've seen Supernatural. Sure, I've seen fucking Wednesday Addams in Wednesday. I've seen Game of Thrones. I've seen fucking The Walking Dead. All these like blockbuster hits, Breaking Bad. They're all good. Don't get me wrong. But none of them makes you feel the way a great anime makes you feel. And I think that, you know what? we're at the precipice now in life and in our pop culture where it's starting to become known. It's starting to become more prevalent. That's why Demon Slayer is leading the box office with $600 million. That's why Chainsaw Man is also at the movies at the same time as Demon Slayer. That never happened before. Back in the day, you had Pokemon. That was the only movie that came out in movie theaters. And even
that
still,
did anything significant, because Pokemon was still 1999, and even then, like, what was before that?
Right. And probably nothing. I mean, it was probably like Akira, maybe, but that was in Japan. So it's like, and even still, the subject matter in Akira is fucking crazy. But, I digress. I just want to kind of like drive this home real quick, just to kind of like let everybody take all this in and really give themselves a second to look up some of these. Look up My Dress Up Darling. Look up Your Lie in April. Look up fucking Rising of the Shield Hero. Look up Solo Leveling. Try all of these. Get a subscription to Crunchyroll. Give it a shot, dude. You will be thankful. And don't just take it from us. Take it from your friends. Take it from people you trust. Come here for more, because I guarantee you I will talk about this again, because it is my passion, buddy. I fucking love this shit.
And I love that for you, man, to have a passion, to be a passionate person.
But, as always, dude, that's what we're all about here at Base Banters. We love to talk about the things that we love. We love to talk about things that are important, that we feel like is a cultural importance to the rest of the world. That's why we do this. That's why we have a podcast. That's why we record these thoughts, because this is a topic of conversation people would have just sitting on a couch, having a drink with amongst friends, right? And that's why we recorded it. We're putting it out there into the airwaves for you, the listener, to kind of give yourself something to think about. And as always, if you want to communicate with us, please reach out to us at our socials. We have Base Banter Podcast at Facebook, Base Banter Podcast at Gmail, Base Banter Podcast on Instagram, and we also have X. And you can also find us on our Discord, which will be launching soon. And I don't have anything else to add on this topic. Jared, do you have anything to add?
I just want to say thank everybody, and you are all wonderful, beautiful people, and that's coming soon to be announced. But anyways, go ahead.
All right, guys. Well, as always, from us here at Base Banter Podcast, thank you for listening, and peace out.
Peace.